Woodward Sports Network presents a sports show that's more than just sports. Welcome to The Bottom Line with U of M great and former NFL star Braylon Edwards and Ryan Ermani. Sit back and let's talk some Detroit sports right now on The Bottom Line.
And here we go. Tuesday, April 5th, 2022. Ermani and Edwards, Woodward Sports Network. Ryan Ermani, Braylon Edwards. Good afternoon to you, my friend.
What is up, my guy? I'm extremely happy. The sun came out. It was a little bit warmer today. And then I got the best news that I can receive right around 11:45. My man, Tiger Woods, is going to play in this year's Masters. I'm extremely happy. He hasn't played in majors since he won in 2019. And could he be the most transcending player in a sport or most important player to a sport ever? When Tiger's golfing,
yes,
the world is better. When Jordan was playing, the world is better. Tom Brady retired. We were nervous this year. Tom Brady comes back. NFL is better when Tom Brady's on that field. Tiger Woods, though, something special about Tiger Woods.
This guy trumps them all.
Yeah,
Absolutely. We've never seen a player mean as much to any particular sport than Tiger Woods means
the
to
sports
golf.
world, not even golf.
Yeah. It's everything about it, man. How he brought everyone into golf. I remember in 1996, I was in 7th grade at UAD. Shout out to UAD, CYO. That's how I know about Grosse Pointe South.
Absolutely.
So I'm literally
never came out of the game.
Hey, man, I never came out the game either. UAD, 7th grade. We were in the religion class. UAD is Jesuits Catholic school.
Pray for us.
Always, yes, please.
Palm Sunday.
With the Masters, it was so polarizing that this young man was going to take on the world. We watched the Masters Thursday and Friday in school. I was mesmerized. I was captivated that this young black man, essentially, I don't want to make it a race thing, but at that time, it wasn't a lot of
Think
black
about that.
golf.
In 1997, we're saying that. This isn't like 1967. We're talking about 1997.
I just turned 13. I'm in the golf. I'm playing, and I'm just watching the masses follow behind this guy. I'm watching this sport take on a whole new identity. Now people are making a little bit more noise. There's a ton more people on that golf course. And the mystique about Tiger, I've shot jump shots with Michael Jordan. I've played pool. Like I've done a lot of things. I've played catch with Tom Brady, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It's nothing like watching a golfer swing. It's the purest art form, and you're talking about the best player to ever do it.
Without question. So we'll talk about Tiger Woods for sure. Tom Mazaway, good afternoon to you, by the way. Dynamite drop-in earlier today.
Thank you. Dynamite drop-in, Monty. I'm not a golf fan, as everyone knows, but I'm a Tiger Woods absolute lover. If he's playing, I'm watching.
There's no doubt about that.
He is just amazing. He's got everything. He just can't take your eyes off him. He's got the looks. Right. He's got the feel. It's just he's like above everything.
And I'm extremely excited. One thing Tiger has always been on the interviews, whatever he's doing a major, leading up to the majors, doing the interviews or doing the pressers, Tiger Woods has always been 100% transparent. If he feels hurt, he'll let you know before the outing starts. Not feeling too good, but we'll go out there, we'll give it a go. If he's feeling great, he'll tell you, I haven't hit my irons this way. He never lies. He will tell you exactly how he feels. So when he was asked, what do you think? Do you think you have a chance to win? Tiger said, yes. Tiger thinks he's going to win. I'm telling you, that is a dangerous thing. Tiger Woods believes he can win. He is transparent. He's golfing some of the best golf he's ever played in the last 2 years in terms of his short game. Short game is really good. He's the number one short game player in the world. And that's how you win. You chip and putt for dough. So I don't know, man. Could be something special.
He don't play unless he thinks he's going to win.
We'll get into some Tiger Woods discussion a little bit later on in the show. Braylon, you're representing the Old English D.
Yes, sir.
Maz, you're representing the Old English D. And the Detroit Tigers made an incredible acquisition last night. And I don't use that word lightly. Austin Meadows, they acquire in a trade from the Tampa Bay Rays. It's a guy that turns 27 years old in May. He was an all-star in 2019. 27 homers, 100 RBIs last year for a guy in Isaac Paredes that really wasn't going to crack this big league roster and be an everyday player. 23 years old. Is the jury still out on him? Perhaps. Didn't seem like it was going to happen here. A little bit of a log jam on the infield to get a draft pick. And here you go. Meadows under control for 2 years. They took that injury with Riley Green, and they said, we are not wasting 2 months of the season having Riley Green gone. And they I mean, they filled his shoes and beyond in the acquisition of Austin Meadows.
Yeah, you're 100% excited. We talked about Riley Green before he was injured. Talked about what he was going to mean to the team this year. Probably looking at around 25 home runs. Very similar stats to what Austin Meadows put up last year. He gets hurt. He's out for 6 to 8 weeks. You know what? We have a good team. We saw how we finished the season last year. We saw what we added. That is A.J. Henson, Chris Illich. We saw what we added so far with Tucker Barnhart. You added a pitcher in Rodriguez. You bring in Javi Baez, a guy that can win the MVP. They're not messing around. They know they have the ability to win now. Why wait? Why say we're 2 years away? Tigers want to win this year, and that was a winning move.
Tampa Bay knows their stuff, though. I'll say that. Austin Meadows is a great upgrade here. He's going to play the corner outfield for you. And the kicker is they won't be able to shade him because they're going to get rid of the shift here eventually. So the way he gets in that bat against right-hander, there's a lot of righties in the American League. This guy's a lefty. And he's going to be dangerous in that Tiger lineup. It's going to be exciting. Paredes, we were hoping that he was going to be the guy. Tampa Bay gets him. Do you remember a guy we traded for David Price? His name was Willie Adames.
Yeah.
Willie Adames
pretty damn good player.
He became a pretty damn good player. Tampa Bay knows what they're doing. And when they're done with a player, they just let him go. They let Adames go. They let their guys go when they're done with them. Doesn't mean they're bad, but Tampa Bay is not a dummy. I would not. The jury's still out on Isaac Paredes.
Without question. Also, Braylon, congratulations. You called it about 2 or 3 months ago. You said Kansas was going to win the national championship. They did so last night. I do have one bone to pick with the broadcasters in last night's game. There was a timeout. I think there might have been 2 timeouts. So Kansas is up by 3. Right? North Carolina's got the ball after somehow, some way, the Kansas player went out of bounds twice.
Point shaving.
How? There's 3 broadcasters.
Yeah.
How not one of the 3 broadcasters brought up or questioned the fact that, hey, you know what? Fouling is a pretty good idea in this case. Why coaches? Bill Self is the latest example. And the 3-point shot ultimately didn't go in. The game did not go to overtime, so Bill Self gets a little bit of a reprieve. But had that shot gone in, and had North Carolina won in overtime, all we would be talking about today is Bill Self, how didn't you foul up by 3 points with 4 seconds to go?
Instead, we'll be talking about why Hubert Davis didn't call timeout down the stretch. He legitimately allowed Kansas just to come back. They routed UNC. UNC had no answer, and their coach, it's his job to get those guys ready. It's his job to slow that thing down and then, whoa, let's take a timeout. Let's regroup. They're coming back. He didn't do that, and I think he's going to be kicking himself today. But you're absolutely right about that call, man. You see it. You've called it a couple times in different NBA games, et cetera, and some of these college games in the tournament, is foul. Put yourself in a better, put a guy on the line, get the 2 shots. It makes a lot of sense. They thought that they were playing good defense, so maybe that's why he didn't foul. But if he would have made it, which is that word again, if.
Puff Johnson, I think that's his name. The kid, he scored 11 or 13 points down the stretch. He got hurt, remember?
Yeah.
He was grabbing his chest. I mean, I was so nervous for that kid.
Yeah, he's throwing up out there.
They played 6 guys.
I know. But this kid, when he went out, he didn't come back in.
No.
That killed North Carolina because he was the hottest Tar Heel for sure. And then Baycott steps on that. Matter of fact, we have the video of Baycott stepping on this court. Watch the court and watch his ankle give on the court. The court gives out almost. Take a look at this, guys.
Okay.
Keep a look at the court.
I saw it.
Yeah. The court gives. So there was like a divot in that court. This ain't St. Joan of Arc gym, man. You got to get that floor right.
And that floor brought to you by the company in the UP.
Sports in the UP.
Up north.
I mean, really.
But, I mean, honestly, and not going to listen to me, these games should not be played in football arenas.
I agree.
Right.
They just shouldn't. They should be played at basketball arenas.
Trying to maximize that profit.
And seriously, and why do people buy seats for a nosebleed seat? $750 for a ticket upstairs like that, where you get a nosebleed.
That's just to start
ridiculous.
the game. You know, by the time the game's over, they rotate down. They play a little bit of seat roulette. But yeah, watching that game yesterday with UNC, and I know we talk about Baycott getting hurt, rolling his ankle right there, and that definitely led to it. You talk about Puff Johnson going down. He came off the bench and gave UNC a nice spark in that first half. And even when Kansas started to come back, Puff Johnson was able to keep UNC in it as well. What I look at is the fact that UNC, if you would have told me UNC would have out-rebounded Kansas by 20 rebounds. If you would have told me UNC would have been up by 15 at halftime, 161-0 when they're up 15 or more in any game. I mean, in a tournament game. If you'd have told me all that and told me that they lost, the crazy thing about it is those 35 rebounds that UNC had, 24 of them were offensive.
Remarkable.
And they still lost there. And you had 24 second chance opportunities, and you still allowed Kansas, who had 19 less opportunities on the offensive side of the putbacks. That's crazy.
Let me remind you of something. Go back to the first weekend. North Carolina up 26 against Baylor. Baylor comes all the way back, takes the lead, ties the game at the end.
Yeah.
They go to overtime. North Carolina escapes. You would think that Hubert Davis would have learned from that mistake and stopped the bleeding a lot earlier, because Kansas, come on, man. How do you allow that to happen? You can't let that happen.
Yeah, it was interesting. And like you said, you brought up Baylor. That's a good point. It's almost as though Hubert Davis didn't know what to do in either one of those moments. It's almost like he trusted his players too much. Like, hey, these guys are, they'll figure it out. They've been playing all year. They'll come together. They'll make a play. That's your job as a coach. Your job is to intervene for your players. Your job is to make those calls, get those guys in a more comfortable situation. It just was, it was something to watch. It just looked bad.
Did you watch him at halftime when he was talking to Tracy Wolfson?
I did.
He was so excited. He just wanted to put it in everyone's face that said, hey, we can't get up for this game because we just beat Coach K and Duke.
Yeah.
What do you think now? We're up 15. Well, where are you now, Coach?
I did like the fact that it was Carolina and Kansas last night, and the game was actually about the players in the national championship instead of about Coach K and all of that stuff. I'm so done with that Coach K stuff. Make it about the players, not about yourself.
Did you see my man Doug Eddert from St. Peter's?
Nuh-uh.
You know, the kid that everyone fell in love with? Yeah, he's leaving St. Pete's.
There's mass exodus there, actually.
Well, the coach left.
Yeah.
Here's a good question. So now Bill Self, he wins last night. He now has two national championships, one 2008 with Mario Chalmers and then one this year. Where does he fit in the college coaches right now? Coach K is obviously retiring. What's the new hierarchy as it relates to college coaches? Does Bill Self now go to number one? Is he number two? Is it a 1A situation with he and Jay Wright, 1A, 1B? What is his legacy overall? Because I did some background checking. He's been the best basketball coach since he joined Kansas in terms of winning percentage. He's never had less than a 4 seed at Kansas in the tournament. He has 2 national championships now. And Alex likes to bring up Michigan State.
Best coach money can buy.
Yeah, there you go. Alex likes to bring up that Michigan State team that was really good, had a chance, but they canceled NCAA tournament 2 years ago. Well, guess who the overall number 1 seed was that year? Kansas.
How about on the women's side? It was South Carolina.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and they won this year as well.
They did.
Guys, I wanted to get into something that we got into yesterday. If you're paying attention on Twitter, boy, did we piss off the Notre Dame fan base.
Bunch of Cincinnati. Jesus Christ.
Who would have thought that a topic on who you don't want the Lions to select it to would turn into the hate, into the vitriol that it did. Notre Dame fans all over us yesterday.
I love it, though.
They are the Fighting Irish.
If they're talking about you, you're doing something right.
We are going to get back into that. We'll get into your conversation with your good friend Brady Quinn.
BQ.
We will get into some of the tweets that were lobbied our way. And for the Notre Dame fans out there, if you want to challenge anything that we said yesterday regarding Kyle Hamilton and our lack of enthusiasm for him to be picked number 2 by the Lions, feel free to call us. 313-552-6322. 313. This is the first time I've ever given
breaking the seal?
This is the first time
the fourth wall's coming down.
I've ever given the phone number out. We're going to try to take some calls today. 313-552-6322. You got a thought on Kyle Hamilton? You want to defend your guy?
You got a thought on me? You got a thought on Ryan? Call us up. We're here to talk.
Feel free.
How about the Beeliners? Maybe they want to call
We'll jump back into that as well. Read you some of the tweets, and then I've got a little player A, player B. Who would you rather have? We'll do it all next. Scott Bischoff, NFL draft analyst, going to join us at 2:36 as well. Lots to get to on a Tuesday afternoon. Armani and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network, the bottom line.
Everything that we've hoped for finally.
He's going deep
Right side. Oh, that is Edwards out there. He goes up in the air at the goal line.
Hey, it's Brandon Edwards here, wanting to welcome the sports marketing agency to Woodward Sports Network, to the family. Glad to have you guys. For the last decade, the sports marketing agency has literally leveraged athletes around issues such as mental health and substance abuse.
Three NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991? Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
Hey, gang! I want to tell you about Guardian Alarm. They're your local security experts, have been for over 90 years. You see that black and yellow sign out in front of your house that tells the bad guys one thing.
Stay out.
That's what it tells the bad guys. Guardian Alarm. They've got convenient features, 24/7 local monitoring. Going to let you lock and unlock your doors. They've got it all. You can detect smoke, detect carbon monoxide. All you have to do is call that number above my head right now. 1-800-STAY-OUT. That number again, 1-800-STAY-OUT. Guardian Alarm, your local security experts. So here's the deal, gang. Notre Dame fans really did not take a liking to us saying, so we were doing a topic yesterday. If there's one guy at 2 that you really don't want the Lions to take,
played it back.
Who is it?
Right.
And I said Kyle Hamilton. You agreed with that. There's just something about Kyle Hamilton that I'm uncomfortable with at 2.
Yeah, so I said either one of the offensive linemen would be my number one choice, but also I didn't want Kyle Hamilton as well. Listen, Notre Dame fan base. I didn't say anything about him as a player. I simply said at the number 2 position, you want to draft a player that is going to impact your franchise in a way that gets them to the Super Bowl, puts them in a consistent conversation of being a playoff team. Drafting a safety, I repeat, drafting a safety is not what the Detroit Lions need to do. And if you don't want to believe me, just believe history. The 2 best safeties of all time are Troy Polamalu and Ed Reed, in my opinion. One went 24th, one went 19th. There's only been one safety drafted in the top 5, actually 2 safeties drafted in the top 5 in the past 25 years. That's Eric Berry and it's Sean Taylor. Both of those guys Hall of Famers. One would have been a Hall of Famer. Rest in peace. I hate when fans do this. You get mad and you say something. I saw a bunch of tweets that come out about me and, oh, is this the guy mad at because Notre Dame is 2-3 when he was there and blah, blah, blah. I don't care about any of that. It doesn't matter. I just care about delivering my point, delivering my opinion. It's just like you watch these boxing analysts. People like, oh, what does he know? He got knocked out by somebody else. So because a boxer got knocked out, that makes him not able to talk about the sport that he's been doing his whole life. Notre Dame, I don't know if you guys are mad that you got blown out by Clemson in the national championship in 2018. I don't know if you're mad that you got blown out by Alabama in 2012 in the national championship. I don't know if you guys are still mad about Monte Teo and whatever that was. But I ain't here for it. Kyle Hamilton is a good player. He's not the second pick overall.
And one of the things, too, that a lot of people did yesterday, Braylon, was they picked apart your entire career.
Yeah.
Oh, do you remember that drop you had in Week 7 against the Baltimore Ravens? I mean, I don't even know if you had a drop. I don't even know. Right. You know what I mean? I'm just throwing it out there. Like, do you remember that route that you missed in practice on a Thursday walkthrough? It's like they pick apart your entire career.
Whenever you're an athlete that crosses over, so whenever you're a professional sports player and then you cross over to the media side of things or behind the desk, whatever, they always have an opinion. Whenever you give an opinion, no matter how hard you do your work, how hard you do your job, come up with some opinions, do some notes based on research, mind you. They always have something to say if they don't agree because they don't like your team. I could care less.
I love how they say you don't watch football either.
Right.
No, none of us here watch football.
What is football?
They're the only ones that watch football.
What is football?
We don't, what is it? I love these people. I love them.
You know, that clip on Twitter, by the way, on Twitter, it's got nearly 80,000 views. Brady Quinn, your guy, commented on it. Brady Quinn, of course, one of the great quarterbacks in Notre Dame football history. played with Braylon in Cleveland. We tried to get him on today, Maz. He was a little busy
He's
today.
busy this week, but he says hi to everybody. They love Harrison Smith all of a sudden. They're bringing him up from the 80s,
Right,
90s.
but you had a chance to talk to Brady
2000s.
Quinn last night. But another thing, everybody's talking about Harrison Smith, okay?
Yeah.
Right.
He was terrific with the Vikings.
Harrison Smith was a really, really terrific player. But Harrison Smith was taken 29th.
Yeah.
29th overall in 2012. Not second.
Yeah.
If the Lions got Kyle Hamilton at 32, I would run around the block naked.
Yeah.
Okay? I would be so happy. You don't want to see that.
Right.
But that's the point. Harrison Smith wasn't taken at 2. I don't believe Kyle Hamilton should be taken at 2. Look at some of these safeties. There has been one safety since 1992 drafted in the top 5. It was Sean Taylor in 2004. Is Kyle Hamilton Sean Taylor?
No.
I don't think so. Ed Reed, pretty darn good safety, right? Taken 24th overall.
Yeah.
Troy Polamalu, pretty darn good safety.
Yeah.
Taken 16th overall. It's just not a position you take that high. I don't care if it's this draft or any other draft. And I do watch the games.
Yeah.
I look at Kyle Hamilton, and other than that Florida State game against a terrible Florida State team,
Yeah.
I don't
Hell
think
of
he
a game,
did
though.
much. Hell of a game
2
against
picks.
Florida State. But I don't believe he did much. In fact, let me do this, guys. Let me put up blindly player A, player B. You tell me who you would like to select, who you would want on your team. Player A, 7 games, 14 tackles, 15 assists, 3 interceptions, 2 of which against, one team, and then 4 passes defensed. On the other side, you've got a player that played 14 games, 42 tackles, 27 assists, 2 touchdowns, 8 passes defensed. You can even take player A, and you can multiply that by 2.
Yep.
And you can go down the line as far as the numbers go.
And it
So
still
if
match
player
up.
A played 14 games, 28 tackles, 30 assists, he would have 6 interceptions and 8 passes defensed. Essentially, almost verbatim.
Yeah.
Player A and player B would have the same impact on the game in college. Now, who are those players?
That would be Kyle Hamilton on the left, and that would be Daxton Hill on the right.
Kyle Hamilton and Daxton Hill would have essentially the same numbers,
Similar,
the same
yeah.
impact. So if I could get Daxton Hill at 34, why would I take Kyle Hamilton at 2?
Listen.
It makes no sense. And nobody's trying to crap down Kyle Hamilton's throat or Notre Dame fans' feelings. Soft, by the way. But come on, man.
They're defending their school. You know, we all defend our schools.
Fine. Give me a call. Let me know what
It's
you
not
think
about
about
defending the school because I didn't say anything about Notre Dame. I simply said why I wouldn't take Kyle Hamilton, and I still stand by that. When you're talking about picking number 2 overall, you're talking about having somebody special. When you're talking about potentially taking safety number 2 overall, they got to be damn special. And he's not damn special. Damn special. Size-wise, yes. He's 6'3", he's 220, good size, has some range to him. I have watched the film. But he runs 4, 5, 6. He also is stiff. You know how these tight ends are now in the NFL? Guys can run. Do you know now playing safety, you're going to have to check because a lot of these teams go 4 and 5 wide. That means you'll be checking wide receivers at some point. Every wide receiver is running 4-3 nowadays. You running 4-5. You having not good hips. His hips remind me of Josh Ross, linebacker from Michigan. Stiff side to side. That's not special. So I'm not trying to piss on Kyle Hamilton's dream. I'm just saying at number 2, Kyle Hamilton isn't the special pick that the Detroit Lions need.
313-552
6322.
6322. Look, I don't even know the number, but we've got Tom in Detroit. Tom, you're on Armani and Edwards. How you doing? Good afternoon to you.
What's up, fellas? How's everybody over there?
You, baby.
Tom, what's
That's
up, buddy?
DJ Tom.
What's up, B?
DJ
How's it going?
Tom,
Hey,
T.
in order to talk to Brad, I got to call the show now.
Hey, man, I'm big time now,
We're
man. I don't
glad
pick the
to have
phone up
you.
no more.
What do you got, Tom?
I'm good. Listen, this Kyle Hamilton thing, the thing you got to think about is if you take a safety that high, what's his second contract going to be? Because that's going to hamstring you big time on the cap. I mean, you can't spend that kind of money on a safety. You just can't.
Well, there's no doubt about it, Tom. And thanks for the call, big guy. Really appreciate it. It's a consideration you have to have. Look, edge rusher, quarterback, offensive lineman. Really is it, period. Right? Edge rusher,
and every blue moon a wide receiver. Every blue moon an actual wide receiver, like a Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, guys like that. Every blue moon, yeah.
Edge rusher, quarterback, offensive lineman. Take your pick, not safety. You saw how that worked out when the Lions picked Jeff Okudah at 3.
And also, it's one of those things, if the Detroit Lions were good everywhere, if we had our quarterback, we do have a pretty good line, but if we had everything we need, if we had the offense, had the wide receivers, had edge rushers, had interior defensive linemen, if you're sitting at number 2, then I guess you wouldn't be sitting at number 2 unless you had to pick from somebody else. Then you can look at a Kyle Hamilton because it's a different circumstance in terms of I have everything. This is just the best player on the board. The Lions don't have everything. They need a lot, and Kyle Hamilton at number 2 is not one of them.
If you want to call the show, feel free to do so. 313-552-6322. Talking Kyle Hamilton, talking the NFL draft. Tell us where we're wrong, because I just don't understand some of the hate. We'll show you some of the tweets as well. This is Armani and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network, the bottom line.
Hi, I'm Kay Cunningham. I'm proud to partner with Hall Financial, the mortgage company known for 5-star service. Don't just take my word for it. Check out their 5,000 5-star reviews for yourself. Go to callhallfirst.com and get started with your 5-star experience today.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan. Woo!
With 26 locations in the Metro Detroit area and more coming, Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Join the Pepper Club for the best deals on unlimited tanning. Head to chilipepperstanning.com.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
As opening day now, what do we got? It's Friday. It's Tuesday now, so 3 more days, and it's opening day. By the way, Miggy with a 3-run homer today against the Yankees in Tampa. How about Woodward Sports are going to be right down there with you guys at opening day. Friday, we start you off at 8 a.m. Morning Woodward Show, of course, with Adam and T. Foss. Come on down and see us. Big D Energy moves over to the Music Hall Amphitheater at 11 a.m., and then we're back at it from the brass rail at 2 o'clock. The first opening day in 3 years, the first true blue opening day. It would be great to have a day like today, wouldn't it? See if Derek Kevra could take care of us there. All right, please. The home opener parties, live DJs, live broadcasts, and the keg holding competition. Come on down and celebrate opening day with Woodward Sports. See you Friday.
Gypsy vodka is smooth as silk. That's because it's gluten-free and it's also corn distilled 6 times using artesian spring water. 50 formulas went into it. And guess what? On that 50th one, Adam and Mike, they got it right. Also, they have Moscow Mule in the can by Gypsy as well. Great product, great company. Guess what? Go down to your local liquor store. Ask for it by name, Gypsy Vodka. And if you're going to drink, remember to always drink responsibly.
Scott Bischoff, NFL draft analyst, will join us coming up in about 8 minutes from now. We'll talk to him about what the Lions plan on doing. We've had a couple of dueling mock drafts that came out today. Todd McShay and Bruce Feldman, both of their mock drafts have the Lions taking the same player at 2 and at 32. So we'll get Scott Bischoff's take on that, let you know who that is. Talking about Kyle Hamilton right now, really a bleep storm that kind of happened yesterday on social media when we both said that Kyle Hamilton would be a disappointing pick, I think, if the Lions sat there at 2. And all of the Notre Dame fans brought up Harrison Smith. And again, just to reiterate for you, Harrison Smith was the 29th pick overall in the 2012 draft, nowhere near number 2. And again, if Kyle Hamilton fell to the Lions at 32, I would do laps around Woodward naked.
Yeah.
I would. No, I wouldn't, actually. Don't hold me to that. But, I mean, we'd be over the moon if that was the case. You just don't take a safety that high.
You don't. Notre Dame fans got really sensitive about him. What about Harrison Smith? Well, what about him? I think he's actually just an okay safety. I think he had a really good year in 2015, and then from there, it's like a snowball effect when you make the Pro Bowl. You make one after another. He's a decent guy. I think he's a good player. He's decent. That's one guy. That's one guy, and I actually wasn't even talking about the lineage in the past of Notre Dame. I just said Kyle wasn't the number 2 pick. But since you bring it up, like I said, Jerome Sapp didn't pan out. Glenn Earl didn't pan out. Chinade Ndukwe didn't pan out. Tom Zibikowski didn't pan out. And the list goes on. Notre Dame typically is not the school that you go to get DBs. So with that being said, that's even more caution to the wind. So Notre Dame, stop being so sensitive and go do your own research.
313-552-6322 if you want to join the show. Let's go to the phones right now and bring in this guy. What's your name, sir? Oh, hello.
I'm on your show every day.
You are on the show. What's your name?
9 Drinks.
9 Drinks. I like that.
It's not a bad name.
What did you drink today, 9 Drinks?
Well, no, it's not about alcohol. My last name is actually Nyan Brink, but no one can pronounce it, so my nickname is 9 Drinks.
I love
it.
Yeah. All right, good stuff. What do you want to talk about?
It's just 9 Drinks. I want to talk about the number 32 pick, and I want Brisker so bad. I want to tell you why.
Okay.
Because last year I wanted JT. I wanted Jason Taylor. The Lions had to take him, and they didn't, because what JT did to Michigan, he was just awesome. And what Brisker did to Michigan this year, he was just awesome. And that's what turned me on to Brisker. I'm like,
what do you think of Kyle
hopefully this
Hamilton?
year we actually get him.
What do you think of Kyle
Hamilton? No, I think he's awesome, but no, not at number 2. If we trade back, absolutely.
9 Drinks gets
that
it.
would be awesome.
9 Drinks gets it.
Absolutely. Thanks for the call, big guy. We appreciate it. Call back anytime.
Hey,
love to have you
on. Love to be on the show. That's awesome.
Good stuff, man. Appreciate it.
Just made my day.
Awesome.
Thanks,
Well, you made ours, buddy.
You made ours.
You made ours. 9 Drinks. Look, so that's where we are with that. By the way, I do want to get this in before we get to Scott Bischoff.
All right. Where the hell is
the 2 mock drafts that we have running today, one from McShay, one from Bruce Feldman, both mock drafts, Braylon. At number 2, the Detroit Lions select Trayvon Walker, defensive end from Georgia. Detroit struggled with it. This is from McShay. Detroit struggled with its pass rush even more than Jacksonville last season, recording just 30 sacks and getting pressured on 25% of opponent dropbacks. Both numbers ranked in the bottom 4. Walker might not have career sack production, but he has the versatility and explosion to anchor the Lions' defensive line. Detroit re-signed Charles Harris, who led the team with 7.5 sacks in 21, and Romeo Okwara had 10 in 2020.
Speaking of Notre Dame,
he's returning from a torn Achilles tendon that kept him off the field most of last season. A trio of Harris, Okwara, and Walker could cause some problems for opposing quarterbacks. I think a lot of Lions fans would be more than fine with that.
Yeah, 100%. You know, when you get a chance to see somebody go against your school, and that's exactly what the Detroit Lions fan base, or that's exactly what the state of Michigan, they watched the Michigan and Georgia game. You saw Trayvon Walker on full display, as well as Jordan Davis and Nakobe Dean. Just a playmaker. He's a big guy, sizable guy, faster, a little bit faster than Aiden Hutchinson, gets up the field, plays with good pad leverage, very strong, has a couple different moves, but more of a strength bull rush type of guy. That's what you need. You got to get to that quarterback. If you can't get to the quarterback, then these guys are going to pick you apart, because these quarterbacks are getting better and better and better. So a guy like Trayvon Walker or Kayvon Thibodeau, if they fall to that 2 spot, that's why you're trying to see a lot of that's why you're seeing a lot of these mock drafts drafting Trayvon Walker or drafting Kayvon Thibodeau, because edge rushers make the game that much easier.
Here's the interesting call, okay? At number 32, Bruce Feldman and Todd McShay have the Detroit Lions selecting Desmond Ridder, quarterback, Cincinnati. And here's the write-up from McShay. Detroit will be back on the clock with the second selection of the second round, but it can first get the valuable 5th-year option on a quarterback here with the final pick of the first round. Jared Goff is under contract through 2024, but his contract structure allows the Lions to move on after this season if they wish. Ridder isn't a sure thing, and he has too many ball locations, but his strong arm, good mobility, and high-end ability to read the field make him an intriguing pick to cap off day 1.
He's got Malik Willis going at 30. the Steelers trading to get the 30th pick. I think they trade with if not the Bengals, one of the Kansas City. He traded with Kansas City. So he's got Malik Willis slipping down to 30. You think the Lions would wait?
That's a Bruce Feldman mock
That's
draft.
A Feldman mock.
This is my problem with these mock drafts and how individuals that do them are just throwing the Lions a Matt Corral at 32, or throwing them a Desmond Ridder at 32, or throwing them a Sam Howell at 32, just so they can get that option. Like, you even read the article you read the write-up right there. It says not a sure thing. Nobody's a sure thing. It also says he's okay. I'm not drafting a guy in the first round at the quarterback position. I won't be forced into drafting it just so I can get a fifth-year option on a guy that probably is not going to play, on a guy that's probably not going to be the world beater, or he's not going to be the guy to lead this franchise into the future. Why waste the pick?
See, that's where I'll disagree with you, because if you're going to take a quarterback, it's got to be in the first round for that fifth-year control.
But you're wasting, but you don't even trust Sam or Matt or Desmond. You're just going to pick a guy just to say you have a first-round quarterback. That way you have a fifth-year option, knowing that you don't like these guys.
Can those guys be Kirk Cousins?
To be honest,
because that's what you're looking at then.
I think Desmond Ridder is more athletic than Kirk Cousins, but I didn't see enough of him to think that he would be better than what Kirk Cousins is doing. Kirk Cousins is a guy that's going to go to the Pro Bowl every year. Kirk Cousins is a guy that's going to throw 100 yards. Kirk Cousins is not going to win you any big games, so that's not a guy I'm drafting. I'm not trying. The Detroit Lions are in a unique situation. All the sports team here in Detroit, they're getting closer and closer. You see the move that the Tigers made today because they think they can win. You see what the Red Wings are going to do now to add to Dylan Larkin, to add to Mo Sider, to add to Raymond. They're getting better and better. That's where the Lions need to change their mindset. Don't just draft a quarterback just to have a guy on the squad with the fifth-year option. If you don't believe in him, if the film hasn't already told you that it's not the guy, don't get him.
And again, whether it's Bruce Feldman, who has the Pittsburgh Steelers choosing Malik Willis, or Todd McShay, who has the Pittsburgh Steelers selecting Malik Willis, I want who the Steelers want.
Exactly.
That's, I think, pretty clear to me.
That's it.
Whoever they want, that's who I want.
Amen.
Start there.
You know, that
doesn't create any problems.
I shut a lot of people up at the bowling alley with that quote.
Yeah.
That's it.
Right.
I want what the Steelers want. If Mike Tomlin wants him, I want him.
Period. Does Scott Bischoff want him? We'll ask him next.
He does.
NFL draft expert. We'll get to him next, and we'll touch on the Kyle Hamilton at 2-8.
The backlash.
We got the backlash continues. Armani and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network. The bottom line.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
You asked for it and we listen. The Seafood Festival is back at Big Boy, including a Friday night seafood buffet. Catch it while you can, available at participating locations until April 24th. Also available, the new fish sandwich. We'll see you at Big Boy.
Hey everybody, it's Maz from MyBookie.ag. I hope you cashed in like I did last night. North Carolina and the under. Yes, I had it. And thank you to MyBookie. I wish I could have gotten that deposit bonus from them, but I've been on them with them. So if you're a first timer and you go on MyBookie, use the promo code Woodward. They will double your first deposit all the way up to $1,000. That's free money in your pocket. How about betting the Tigers on the over now? Now that they got Austin Meadows, bet it. Bet the over 77. I love it. Maybe you will as well. Get on it. The futures. You got football. Lions, 6.5 on the over. They all have it right there at mybookie.ag. Use the promo code Woodward. Tiger plus how much?
4,000.
Tiger plus 4,000 for the Masters?
Yep.
Give me $20 on that.
There you go.
Get it on mybookie.ag. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie. If you have a gambling problem, please use the Michigan Problem Gambling Hotline, 1-800-270-7117.
Oh, it's me.
Yeah, it's about Wing Snob and those lemon pepper wings.
Yes, it is.
Because
Let
they
me tell you
definitely have
about
better
Wing
wings.
Snob.
Delicious.
Wing Snob, fresh, juicy, hormone-free chicken. That's right. Wing Snob has the best traditional wings. Try out Jamaican jerk or lemon pepper. That's the one that I like, thanks to my partner over here and his suggestion on the lemon pepper. Wings tossed perfection in any sauce you like. Buffalo is pretty good, too. When the wings are this good, you're allowed to be a snob. Order online and find a location near you. Wingsnob.com, wingsnob.com. We just have better wings.
Very important when you talk about hormone-free chicken and all that. Man, I had some chicken recently from a place that I won't name, KFC.
Oof.
And I didn't know what the hell I was looking at or eating. When I had Wingstop, real wings, real chicken, really good. Got to get you some Wingstop from time to time.
He is not a snob, but he's very good at NFL drafting now. It's just he is the
snob.
co-host of the draft show on Woodward Sports Network. Our friend, your friend, the great Scott Bischoff. Scott, how you doing, my friend?
Hi, guys. Let's not get carried away with the word great.
Well, we love you.
I called you a draft snob.
I was told to ask if you are any relation to Eric Bischoff.
He is my cousin.
Why is that right?
I told you.
I know you did.
True.
I had to. Wow. Yeah. How cool is that?
Well, I mean, it's cool for him. He's kind of a rock star. You know.
Yeah.
No, he's a really nice guy. It's interesting. His personality away from the ring is totally different than
He lives in Is it Montana or Wyoming in the middle of nowhere? Wyoming, yeah.
Yeah, he lives in Cody. Yeah.
I wanted to hate Scott Bischoff because I feel like he and NWO towards the end of the WCW, they kind of like destroyed what was a great thing. But perception is reality. That was my perception as a young 17-year-old kid. And then you learn more and more about his story. Eric Bischoff actually is a really, really, really good dude, really sound guy, and have a newfound appreciation for him over about the last 4 years.
It's amazing what he was able to pull off with such a limited resources against Vince McMahon. It's really remarkable.
Yeah. It is an unbelievable story. You should check out that story, Monday Night Wars, as well, for more on that. Hey, Scott, I wanted to talk to you about this first before we move forward. I want to talk about Kyle Hamilton here. We got a ton of hate from Notre Dame fans yesterday saying we don't know what we're talking about. I am uncomfortable with picking Kyle Hamilton at 2 overall. Am I way off base with that statement? How do we see Kyle Hamilton here?
I would tell the Notre Dame fans just to suck it. Like,
yes.
I mean, seriously, we're talking about a safety at 2. So, Ryan, you're all over it. I mean, I would be incredibly uncomfortable with him at 2. I've seen a lot of people sort of dismiss his 40 time, like he didn't run straight. And it's like, well, there's a reason. Braylon, let's talk about this. If a guy runs a 40 the way he ran that 40, does it tell you there's a little stiffness there?
1,000%. Scott Bischoff gets it. Tells me that he's stiff. It's a guy that doesn't have that explosion. He doesn't have that linear movement that you want to have. Doesn't have that flexibility in the hips to be point A, point B. He's stiff, so it's kind of here. It's kind of over there. It's kind of 4-5. It's kind of not going to get you beat when you play against Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, and the list goes on. Are these extremely fast wide receivers? He's going to get torched. He's
going to get torched. Yes, he is. So you've got a guy who's 6'4", and everybody wants to portray him as a unicorn. He's got really long legs. You are not asking him to play over the slot in the NFL. You're just not.
No, not at all.
He's going to get beat. You can watch him in college. You can watch him lose at the line of scrimmage against college receivers. And, yeah, he's got a nice long stride. And when he unleashes that stride, he looks good. But with him, we're talking about splash plays that we've all seen. Everybody points to the interception he made against Florida State on the sidelines. The thing that stands out to me watching that is his recognition of what was happening, and it's impressive. I think he does watch a lot of film. I think it's obvious he's a smart dude. He understands what offenses are trying to do. But the reality of that play is, and I would urge you guys all to go watch that play again, if that quarterback doesn't throw an arm punt down the sidelines there, he doesn't intercept that pass. Yes, he gets there, but it doesn't look as pretty as it does. It's a splash play, and there's context to it. That play is not happening in the NFL. It's just not. So there's a little bit of we see, some of it too is Notre Dame. It's the golden helmet. Everybody wants these guys to be rock stars. I think he is set up for a little bit of a fall on draft day. I think there are concerns about his stiffness in space.
Yes.
You know, if you were asking him to play in the box as a box safety and do some things against the run for you and cover certain parts of the field, that's great. But we're talking about the 2nd overall pick. So,
man, tell him, Scott. Tell him the 2nd overall pick. You're talking about a safety. When you think about great NFL safeties, when you think about Pro Bowl NFL safeties, Hall of Fame safeties, they all have something similar in kind. Ronnie Lott, 6 foot. Ed Reed, 6 foot. Bob Sanders, 5'10". The list goes on. Eric Berry, 5'9". Earl Thomas. They are smaller guys. That way they are explosive. They are literally learning how to, like the flexibility, the core. That's where it's at. 6'4", like you said. What is a 6'4" guy going to do when he has to stand over Jalen Waddle in the slot? What's a 6'4" guy going to do with George Kittle in the slot? It behooves me that they put all this on Kyle Hamilton.
He's going to tackle him very far down the field.
Sounds like a lot of penalties. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, I mean, you could see. I don't know that he's real grabby at Notre Dame, but I mean, I could see him losing. You can see it on his film when they roll him up over slot receivers, and we're talking about. I'm not talking about guys who are going to play in the NFL as slot receivers. I'm talking about Notre Dame competition slot receivers who are not going to play at the next level. And the first couple steps he loses, where he's giving up ground. Now, those guys are not fast enough to run away from him, but the guys you mentioned are. They're gonna run away from him, and I just don't know in the end exactly where you play him. That's the biggest question I have with Kyle Hamilton is what exactly are you asking him to do, and it's a huge unknown. He is one of those guys where I'm pushing away from him. Period. At 2, just not interested.
Scott Bischoff joins us. He's our draft expert, of course, from the new draft show here on Woodward Sports. Hey, there's a couple guys out, Bruce Feldman and Todd McShay today. They had identical Lion picks at 2 and 32. 2, he's got Trayvon Walker, and they both have Desmond Ridder at 32. Kayvon Thibodeau was the talk earlier this week. They love him. Peter King says they're really interested in him. I mean, how do you look through all this bull crap and just take Malik Willis at 2?
Well, so Bruce Feldman is more of a college football tight end guy. He doesn't have Charles Cross, the Ole Miss tackle, in his first round, which is just like it's confusing, right? So, but you know, I mean, we talk about if we're talking about risk, Trayvon Walker brings a ton of risk at pick 2. This is, I mean, he's a workout warrior. He looked incredible at the combine. There are moments on film where he splashes all that stuff, but this is a really raw player. This is a player who doesn't have a lot of pass rush moves. He plays a lot of bully football where you know, he's just, I'm bigger and stronger than you, and he is willing to use his hands. I mean, I will give him that. It's just right now, this is not a player who I think is even on the same level as a Kayvon Thibodeau as a pass rusher. He's just not. So if you're drafting him to be able to tap into whatever upside there is with him and the hope that he will eventually match how athletic and how big he is. Plus, he's got some position versatility, too. So, you know, as much as we want to, this is part of the Malik Willis conversation because there's risk, but there's risk with Trayvon Walker just as much. There's no guarantee that he ever turns into anything more than what he is right now, is just a guy who eats space and is more of a workout guy than he is a football player. And we've seen teams miss there, you know, repeatedly over and over. To me, that's one of those guys where if he matches his athleticism down the road, yeah, you could have a monster on your hands, but that's a huge if.
Hey, Scott, I got to take 30 seconds. Can we hold you over?
Please.
Scott Bischoff going to join us next. More draft questions. Coming up next, Armani and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network, The Bottom Line.
Life is full of hard choices. We're here to make one of life's biggest decisions as simple as possible. My name is Christina Gennari, and for over 20 years, I've helped hundreds of families buy and sell homes. We cover all of Metro Detroit and more, from large luxury homes to starter homes. We will work hard to make sure that you get the home of your dreams. So if you're in the market today or even thinking about buying or selling in the future, make the obvious choice. Christina Gennari, the obvious choice in real estate. Visit us at soldchristina.com today.
Fellas, let's be honest. We like things to be easy. We like simple stuff, like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
SMA has been leveraging pro athletes and other notables for over a decade against the issues of mental health and substance use disorder. With the help of NFL alumni, Sean Jordan has been able to save lives and take a stand against these issues. The Sports Marketing Agency podcast has started and is amazing. If you want to get a snapshot of some of these issues, mental health, depression, anxiety, as well as substance use disorder, please, I advise you go check it out. It's on the Sports Marketing Agency page, which is thesportsma.com. And also, it's on our page too, Woodward Sports Network. If you're struggling with substance abuse or mental health, they're here to help. Once again, go to the website. I promise you, go to the website, thesportsma.com.
Right back here, Woodward Sports Network, we've got our draft expert, the Draft Show, co-host of the Draft Show here on Woodward Sports Network, Scott Bischoff. You can follow him on Twitter at Bischoff_Scott. Scott, I've talked to you about this before, and I'm not backing down off of it. I am in love with Malik Willis at 2. I feel like if you crap out on him, it doesn't kill you. Like if you crap out on a Jeff Okudah, if you crap out on a Trayvon Walker, if you crap out on anybody else, you're done. Where are you on Malik Willis and the Steelers? The Steelers love this guy, or at least give the impression that they love this guy. I want who the Steelers want. What do you make of that?
If I could get anyone on the planet to look at me the way Mike Tomlin was looking at Malik Willis at the Senior Bowl, that'd be really good. But, you know, the truth about Willis is that there is a desire to portray him as this raw prospect who just can't improve as a player, and I think that is as flawed logic as you're going to find. You know, the Lions are one of the few franchises right now who have the opportunity to take a quarterback and let him sit for a full season. Now, I feel that I'm sure people are rolling their eyes right now, but Patrick Mahomes did not start week 1. Justin Herbert did not. Lamar Jackson did not. Deshaun Watson did not. Josh Allen did not. Aaron Rodgers did not. Tom Brady did not. A lot of these guys were given an opportunity to grow as players before they started, right? So the Lions are in a situation where they can let him grow as a player, but I think you've already seen some things that he's improved upon in his 3 months away from Liberty. It's in his drops and his footwork, which is leading him to be more accurate as a passer. So Ryan, I'm with you. If there is ever a draft class to take a swing on at a position, because of the some of these guys are high floor, low ceiling players, even at the very top of this draft. This is the year to do it. And I know there's a desire for people to scream about if you miss on that pick, it kills you for years. But I think it's exactly the opposite.
I agree.
Where we've seen teams do this, where they ignore the quarterback position and get everything right around them, and even then it's not good enough. Look at the Cleveland Browns.
Yes.
They did everything. It looks like they did everything right, and because the quarterback doesn't work, everything that they did, it's not good enough. So I would tell you that my perspective is if the Lions ignore quarterback for a year or 2 years, they have to crush every single important pick they make, and then get lucky at the back end of the draft to even have a chance to compete with some of these teams who do have elite quarterbacks. They just do, and the point of this is not to win the NFC North or to get into the NFC Championship game. You have to win the Super Bowl, and when you look at what's in the AFC, you've got to beat all those quarterbacks in the AFC, and Joe Burrow is going to be around for a long time, and Josh Allen. You have to have playmaking at that position. And there is just no player in this entire draft who, if he hits his ceiling as a player, can flip around the fortunes of a franchise as quickly as Malik Willis can. Now, we have to recognize there is risk there, right? But there's risk with all of these players. And I just, that's it for me. I think that it's somewhat underselling him as a player to just assume he won't get any better. I think that for me, I see a modern day version of Michael Vick, and that excites me, thinking about what he can be both vertically challenging defenses and using his legs to make plays. I know this. Michael Vick ran 4.34 at 210 pounds. 2 years ago, Malik Willis ran 4.38 at 210 pounds. You're getting a Michael Vick type guy. You just are.
What do they tell you is the best thing to do for a young quarterback? What do? What do you put around him? You put a good offensive line around him. You also put a running game around him. Last time I checked, Detroit Lions had one of the best offensive lines in the NFL, and Frank Ragnall's coming back this year. Last time I checked, DeAndre Swift, Reynolds, and Williams in the backfield, nice little hodgepodge, did some good things last year, especially when Taylor Decker came back. You got Jared Goff, who's been to the Super Bowl, who's played in the playoffs a couple different times. Then you got Mark Brunell, a coach that will be coaching Malik Willis, that's been to the Pro Bowl, that's been to the Promised Land. He didn't win, been a quarterback for a very long time at a high level. It sounds like a match made in heaven. Sounds like a perfect setup for Malik to actually come, sit on the bench, and grow. I'm for Kayvon Thibodeau at 2. Let's have some fun, though, Scott. Wide receivers, you talk about, you see these new mock drafts. I think I actually saw Garrett Wilson as high as 4 to the Jets. You think about 4 going to be gone by the 15th pick. What if the Detroit Lions went crazy and picked Garrett Wilson at 2?
Wow. I have not considered that as something that they could do.
Look at the NFL. Look at the words. I didn't mean to cut you off before you answered. Just look at where we're going. Justin Jefferson 2 years ago lit the league on fire. Last year, Jamar Chase, arguably, without what Cooper Kupp did, Jamar Chase was the best wide receiver in the NFL. He changed right away. Obviously, he had Joe Burrow, too. But wide receivers are now changing the game. And you saw Garrett Wilson be the number 1 wide receiver in the country
and
last
McShay
year.
has him going 4 to the Jets today.
If he can go 4, why can't he go 2?
Well, that's just it. I mean.
Yeah.
I don't know that. I don't understand the desire to pick a wide receiver at 4 when I think that guy is likely to be available at 10. I understand that the Wilson love. He's a good player. I don't know that he's on the same planet though as what Jamar Chase was. So, or even what Jalen Waddle was. So for him to go earlier than where those guys went, to me is just like, that's confusing. But the Lions need a receiver. They really do. Do they need a receiver as much as they needed one last year? No, they don't. The wide receiver room is much better off than it was a year ago when Brad Holmes looked at the draft and ignored it for 3.5 rounds. So, if we're trying to forecast what they're going to do, I can't fathom that as a possibility. But they're, one of the guys I'm looking at who I think I would love to see them maybe trade up for and say their early 20s, mid-20s is Jamison Williams.
Ooh,
just because of the speed. Just speed.
Like
and that's a guy who I think
type player.
Yeah, he's the number 1 wide receiver in the country last year.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
I had him want Wilson too.
He might make it to 32.
He could with the ACL tear, right? So, but I think that a lot of this is going to be who are they drafting a wide receiver for right now, and I'm not sure it's for Jared Goff. And I would tell you that Jamison Williams is not going to fit Goff's game real well at all. Goff is not really going to want to challenge the field vertically, but if you do have a quarterback who does. And you have a guy like Jamison Williams, then we're looking, that's an exciting possibility. Plus what he can do, and Braylon, you can talk more about this, but the idea of what that speed does to open up the middle of the field, of what, the backside X receiver who just is lightning fast and demands coverage, what does that do for Amon-Ra St. Brown in the middle of the field and TJ Hawkinson and Quintez Cephas and then DJ Shark, and you know what I mean? So it's an exciting concept. Of what a speed receiver can do for them. It's just right now with Goff, I'm not sure that big vertical threat is what they're looking for.
Yeah. Scott Bischoff joins us, the draft expert here, of course, on our show, The Draft Show. Go ahead, Bray.
With Jamison Williams in terms of the ACL, I think what you're starting to see in the NFL is ACLs. I know this is going to sound crazy. I don't want to downplay it. I tore my ACL, so I'm definitely not downplaying. ACLs are like sprained ankles now. Like with the medicine, the rehab process, the different surgeries that they can do now, guys are coming back faster. Guys are coming back better. So NFL GMs, front office, they're not even looking at ACLs like anything. So I think he might get drafted higher than people think, man. You look Chris Godwin, tore his ACL, just got a major deal. And the list goes on, OBJ. Guys are still getting paid because the ACLs aren't that big a deal anymore.
Hey, Scott, Scott, can I keep you another segment? I'm having too much fun.
Let me think. Yeah.
Oh, all right. Good. I mean, Look, Maz has a question for you, too. Then I want to get to 32 and 34, too, because there's a lot going on there. Plus, there's a trade that happened yesterday. I want to see what impact, if any, that could have for the Lions. We'll do it all next. Scott Bischoff, sticking around. Armani and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network, the bottom line.
Cintron is the official energy drink of the Red Wings, proud partners of the Detroit Pistons, and exclusively served at Little Caesars Arena. If you're looking for premium ingredients, long-lasting energy, balanced hydration, essential vitamins, and great taste, Cintron is your top choice.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
Hey, everybody, check out the Foaling Warehouse in Hamtramck. They even got a new place that they opened up today. Check them out on Twitter, of course, at Foaling Warehouse, and check them out online at foalingwarehouse.com. Great people. Chris and Noni Hutt. Chris invented this game, a football bowling game that everybody could enjoy. You got a couple of ways to play. You can go in by yourself. $10 unlimited open play, or bring some friends and family with you. You can have your own lane, private lane reservation for 2 hours. Cost you $120. You can put 10 or 12 people on that lane. Bring your own food in. Have it delivered. There's plenty of room. TVs, bars galore. They've got over 100 beers to offer. And the famous $2 mystery beer machine. Check it all out at foalingwarehouse.com. Tell them Woodward Sports sent you.
Hey, gang! I want to tell you about Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac, located in Dearborn on Michigan Avenue. Les Stanford, your Corvette king. That's right, GM announced that all-new 2023 Corvette Z06, 0 to 60 in 2.6 seconds. That's right. For more, head over to CorvetteKing.com, CorvetteKing.com, and for all your other Chevy and Cadillac needs, don't worry about the chip shortage or the supply chain. They've got a car for you, and they can get you one. Don't go without. If you want to sell them back your car, feel free to do so as well. They take any make, any model. If you're coming up on your mileage, if you're leasing your car, Les Stanford is an authorized lease return center. They got you covered. Get off your heels into some wheels. Come on down today, practically giving them away. Les Stanford Chevrolet.
Fine. New road.
And Cadillac. Fine new road. That's right, baby.
I was a little early. I got excited.
I saw that hotel on wheels of yours.
Oh,
Beautiful
you like
car.
that? Beautiful car.
Beautiful
Picked up
car.
a Tahoe from them about a month or
Talking
two
about
ago.
the Daxton you drive?
Oh, man.
I parked my little Equinox next to
Hey,
it.
Gorgeous.
Love it.
Gorgeous
How
Chevrolet.
about Easy? He's got himself a Trax.
That's right. Hey, hour number 2 of the program. If you're watching on YouTube, we certainly appreciate it. Smash that like button. Let's get to over 100 likes by the end of this segment. And we know we can do that. Absolutely. We've got Scott Bischoff on with us from the V-Mix. Scott Bischoff, co-host of the Draft Show on Woodward Sports Network. Maz, you're up first.
All right, Scotty. I got one for you. Yesterday, the Eagles and Saints swapped a lot of picks. I don't really understand it. There's the numbers.
I think anybody does.
It looks like the Eagles gave up a number 1 this year to get a number 1 next year and a 3. What's the reasoning for this? And can the Lions somehow figure a way into this? Does someone want to trade up and get number 2 and maybe give some of those picks to us?
Yeah, I mean, so the Saints move is very suspicious. It feels like it's part 1 of a second part that's coming.
Exactly.
My assumption is that would be for a quarterback. I don't know that it's reasonable this far out to make a trade and to give up what they gave up for just to take whoever's there for them, if that makes sense, right? Like,
correct.
I understand the Eagles side of it. They had 3 picks. They had picks 15, 16, and 19.
Yep.
And it's tough to make all those picks and then have to pay all those guys when 5th year comes around. So I understand, pushing a pick into the future. I get that. It's just the New Orleans thing is interesting to me I don't know if they're. So there's some smoke around Kenny Pickett, and I think Malik Willis. Do they have the ammo to get up to say pick 2 or pick 1? Yeah, they do if that's where they want to go. I do think that there is something to the idea that they may have to jump in front of Carolina if they want a player like Kenny Pickett. But New Orleans now has pick 16, pick 19. Their second rounder is pick 49. If you're looking at adding maybe a second round pick in 2023, that's enough. That's really enough to get up to the Lions and pick 2. That right there. So,
if you were the Lions, would you stand pat and take Malik Willis if that's your guy, or would you trade back and get some extra picks and pass up on possibly your quarterback in the future?
To me, I'd be trading if that's what New Orleans is doing, is giving you all that. I'd be moving back and accumulating assets. In that scenario, you'd have pick 16, pick 19, pick 32, pick 34, pick 49. You'd have 2 first-rounders next year. Wow. You'd have your own second-rounder next year. You'd have New Orleans' second next year. You're loaded, right? You're loaded with picks. But we just talked about you
having
need
to
the
pay
quarterback.
those picks.
And then so at that point in time, I don't care. I really don't. It doesn't much matter. With all the resources that you have, next year you would be able to get up to pick 1 with all the resources that you do have, and then you'd be loading up this year with where I think the value of this draft is. I think that makes a lot of sense. Now, is New Orleans interested in coming up that far? I don't know, but there's something else at play just other than that move.
Scott, is there a dream scenario for the Lions at 32? They see this player falling, and that's the guy that they want. Dream scenario there for them at 32.
Jordan Davis.
I don't know there's any way he's available at 32, but if he's there at 32, that's fine. So
like a Jamison Williams and a Nakobe Dean, something like that. You see any of those guys?
So, I mean, I think maybe the dream scenario is for a team to want to come up for a quarterback because of the 5th-year option.
Yeah.
And for them to accumulate some capital. I mean, they have a need at safety. Jaquan Brisker from Penn State, I think, is a really good player. He would fit really well with Tracy Walker. I think he's a player that you would be very comfortable with taking at 32. Jordan Davis's teammate Devontae Wyatt is a player I think you'd be very comfortable. I don't think he'll be there, but he's a player who can wreck some things. Again, at pick 32, I think that's reaching. I'm not sure he will be there. And then one of these receivers who may fall to them would be a very intriguing option at 32. Linebacker's a need, but it's less a need than it was. I know you're going to have to start building more long-term players, but the dream scenario I think is trading out of 32 and getting the guy that you like at 32 at 34, if that makes sense.
Yep.
And then making multiple picks in the 40s. I think that's kind of where I would be happiest, if that makes sense.
Yeah, you talk about wide receivers. You also talk about the Detroit Lions kind of being a lot better than where they were last year, wide receivers. We talked about it a lot, just talking about they lacked the depth at wide receiver. They didn't have anybody to go to until Amon-Ra St. Brown caught fire late. But looking at that, with that being said, going back to that number 32 pick, I've been looking at a guy, and I'm looking at Jahan Dotson slipping. Not Jahan Dotson, I'm sorry. He definitely won't make 32. But I've been looking at Christian Watson. I know he's a little bit of an unknown, North Dakota State. Big guy. Once again, here comes the word raw guy, kind of like a DJ Shark guy, real fast, still catches the ball with his hand. That could be a guy that I'm looking at 32. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I think that's a real possibility at 32. And North Dakota State, it's they didn't throw the ball a lot. I think you got to go back to the Trey Lance days to really see what he can be as a player. But at 6'4" and 208 pounds, I think is what he was. Running as fast as he ran, and then having the pre-draft process he had where at the Senior Bowl he looked uncoverable. He really did. And so, small school kid, but not even fazed by what he saw at the Senior Bowl. Again, the Lions got a up close and personal look at that. I think one of the things that stands out with Brad Holmes is when you look at, he likes guys who are good route runners, Obviously, they talked about wanting an explosive backside X receiver, which Watson would give you with his size and all that stuff. But he's a really good blocker, too. And I know that it's silly to talk about blocking, when you're looking at guys in the first round, but it's one of the reasons he loved Cooper Kupp. Brad Holmes did. It's one of the reasons they fell in love with him wasn't necessarily the 40 time, and it was great route runner, but also a guy who's willing to muddy it up as a blocker, and Watson is. And I think that Watson gives you size and speed, and there's a little redundancy with what Chark is, but Chark's here for 1 year. Watson I think has the ability to grow into what could be he could be a really nice player. I would have no issues with him at 32, and right now I know that he's pegged more in the 40s range, but it's kind of like the planet theory. There's only so many guys on the planet that are that size and run the way he runs. It's just it's very limited.
Yeah, for me, like you said, you had to go back to Trey Lance to kind of get a feel for him. But, he tore that combine up, man. And speed kills, we say it all the time. Just having him at the 32 pick, I think he's a type of player, small school guy, come in and he will fit in real good with the concept, the identity that is the Detroit Lions. I think he will fit into that well. I think he will mold in and just be a good guy moving forward.
Hey, Scott, another small school is Nevada. How's this Carson Strong kid I'm hearing about, quarterback out of Nevada, 28 teams at his pro day yesterday? What do you tell me about him, his size, and is he a future guy?
I mean, he's got great arm strength. He's a big quarterback, but he's a little statuesque. So there's not a lot of plays that are being made in his game that are outside the structure of an offense, right? So that's one of the things where you look around and you see these quarterbacks that do things when pressure comes and they escape the pocket and they're looking to throw the ball down the field, and that's where big plays come, where you don't see a lot of that with him, where, I'm not sure that I would feel comfortable with him in round one. I mean, he's a developmental type of player who I think is, he's a solid college quarterback, but you are limited in some of the things that you can do. But again, great size, big arm, all that stuff. He reminds me a little bit of like a Joe Flacco type of player, where you really need to get your protection set and keep him fixed in the pocket. Now, it doesn't mean he can't move, but he doesn't move at all like some of these other guys.
Two quick things for you, Scott, before we let you go, and I promise these to be quick. These are my two quick takes. I believe this. If the Detroit Lions and the front office and Brad Holmes, if they want to get a quarterback, they don't want to take that chance, because that's where the NFL is. The NFL, you got to have a quarterback. You got to have one of these young, multi-talented, dual-threat type quarterbacks. Got to have a guy like that with that athletic ability. If you want to take a shot with the fifth option, then by all means draft Malik Willis. But if you want the surest thing, I believe, for what you need and what's at the top 10, then take Kayvon Thibodeau. That's my take.
I'm kind of with you. I think that Thibodeau's been slandered in this process, and I just 100%. Don't understand it. I mean, I do understand it. This is the NFL, and scouts and NFL people are very insecure with guys who are very confident and who are intelligent enough to threaten them, if you get what I'm saying.
Oh, 100%.
So, yeah, I mean, he challenges that the old school approach, and he's got answers for a lot of things. And even there's a quote about him where they clipped a quote about a coach can't tell me anything I don't already know. Well, that's not what he said, but that's kind of where I mean, he's getting crushed for his confidence,
personality, and charisma.
Yeah, he's getting crushed for all those things, and almost appearing like he's trying to steer his way to playing maybe in New York or Atlanta, something like that, while then also getting crushed when he talks about how he thinks he's the number one player in the draft. It's like, which way do you want to have it? You can't have it both ways.
Yeah.
Either he thinks he's the best player in the draft and he's confident and we love that, or
he's an arrogant
don't.
butthole.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's just so. I think there is a lot of just people taking shots at his character. I don't think it's fair. I think some of it is that he's been in the draft process too long. We wouldn't be talking about Kayvon Thibodeau a year ago the way we are now. He's a really good pass rusher. He really is.
The great Scott Bischoff, who has asked to use that we use the word great loosely.
Please.
We love it, Scott. We love having you on. We appreciate the insight and the time you've given us. Check out the Draft Show on Woodward Sports Network. Check out Scott on Twitter at Bischoff_Scott.
And he is related to Eric Bischoff, by the way. Love it.
Good job. Absolutely. Braylon loves the fact that he loves Eric Bischoff.
I do. I love.
I don't even know
Hall
who
of
he is.
Famer.
He is a
He's a Hall of Famer.
Who is he?
He's the guy
He was
that
a promotion owner of WCW.
WCW.
Started out with Vern Gagne over there
Oh, so
at
it's wrestling.
AWA.
Yeah.
It's wrestling.
Okay, that's
You've
why I
never
don't know.
heard of the Monday Night Wars?
No.
I mean,
No.
You remember when Hulk Hogan came back? He had the NWO on. He had
No.
the black.
Oh,
Stop
my
it, man.
God,
Man, you're so
Maz.
full
Get
of it.
No,
out
I'm
of
not.
here.
You're full of it.
I'm not.
Get outta here.
I'm sorry, guys.
You can, so you can tell me what happened in the dugout in 1912, but
I
you don't
could.
remember Hulk Hogan in 1996.
I remember Hulk Hogan. You know, I watched him fight at the Meadowlands Arena
I watched
way
him
back
fight.
when in the
Fight.
80s.
It's wrestle, man.
Wrestle, whatever the hell it is. He's just not a wrestling guy.
Right.
Can I tell you?
That's
But I do
sad.
like General Hospital back in the 80s as
It
well.
was very good. Luke and Laura.
How do you
Yeah.
Very good.
She was hot.
Sonny Corinthos.
I almost was on General Hospital.
You
Really?
almost were on General
I almost
Hospital?
was on General
Look at
Hospital.
you.
What?
2006. NFL does these fun, quirky.
Wait a minute. I got to
I
take
got
a break.
I got the clip.
What?
I got. Hold on, I got.
Oh my God!
I got
What
sent-
is
I got-
this? I'm
How
just
could you
hearing
hide
about
this from us?
now.
Why are you hiding
Armani
this?
and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network.
Woodward Sports
The
Network.
bottom line.
Braylon.
I'm trying to hurry up and send it over to
Hospital.
Al May so it can be in the videos.
Oh my
of-
gosh!
He's an actor, too. Look at this.
Oh.
Yeah,
How about
man.
Stan?
6 dark corners, a driveway and a patio, 5 windows that could become doors. Every house has unique security challenges. Guardian Alarm has more tech, more team, and more ways to help keep them all safe. Get a professionally designed and installed security and smart home system from Guardian Alarm. Sign up today and get a free video device. Guardian Alarm. Smart, right from the start. Call 1-800-STAY-OUT.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
I found.
Opening day coming up on Friday here, of course, in downtown Detroit. It's going to be the Tigers and the White Sox. Really, it's the first opening day in 3 years, a real one. And now we got to hope that the weather's going to hold out first. But we don't care because we're going to all be around town and indoors as well. We start you off at 8 a.m., the Morning Woodward Show with Adam and Terry Foster. That's going to be down at the Brass Rail, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. And then Big D Energy, D-Mac and Neil Rule and the gang, they're going to be live from the Music Hall Amphitheater. They're going to have a keg holding contest as well. And then we are live from the Brass Rail from 2 to 4. Come on down. The heavyweights will be walking around, giving interviews out, taking interviews. You never know. You might even wind up on a Woodward Sports tweet or Instagram or anything that we do out there. We're going to be all over the place. We're all over opening day. Downtown Detroit this Friday, kicking off at 8 a.m. at the Brass Rail. See you down there.
It's time to get in shape. I want to pump you up. Planet Fitness, your fitness is essential. $10 a month. Time to get pumped up. Trying to get in shape. Feel good about yourself. Guess what? Look good, feel good, live good, eat right, live right. Go down to Planet Fitness. $10 a month is all it takes. Or you can be Big Baller Shot Caller. $22.99 for the black card, which gives you access to over 2,000 locations worldwide. Access to the hydro massage chairs and also unlimited tanning. But Maz's favorite thing is you can bring somebody every time because there's no limit on guests when you come down to Planet Fitness and do it right. Your fitness is essential.
I'm coming free with you.
All right, so here's the deal. Braylon broke some news to us in the last segment, which really almost took me out of my seat here. You said you were almost on General Hospital, which has been one of the great series of our time. I mean, for the last 60 years, General Hospital has graced our daytime television. Now, I was a big fan of this for many, many decades, but when it moved from 3 p.m. to 2 p.m.,
It took you out.
It took me out. Just didn't fit in my schedule anymore.
So Al May, how fast can you get the video? I'm gonna set the scene. If it's soon, then I'll set it. Now we can get it to the end, towards the
The
end.
reason I even brought it up is because you guys are such big wrestling fans.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I always compare it to a soap opera.
Oh,
So if you
it
like a
is.
soap opera,
But you're right, though.
yeah, if you like a soap opera, it's a male soap opera.
So okay, that sounded weird, but so basically what this event was, NFL always does weird, quirky, not weird, but they always do cool things And in this one, they brought out me, Steven Jackson, former running back for the
Steven
Rams.
Jackson slugging people.
He's in the video.
Oh, not that Steven Jackson.
And then you're finding that. And then Sonoris Moss. Santana Moss's brother, played for your Giants, Maz, and then myself. And we had basically an acting competition, like between us. We learned some stuff. We did some scenes. We did some roles. And whoever did the best out of everybody got the role on General Hospital. Now, I know I did the best. But, they chose Sonoris Moss probably because he didn't stand out as much. He was a bartender, so he didn't stand out as much. If they had me in there 6'4", I would stole the show. But you can tell me if I won or lost when the video comes up. When we get that thing on.
We're not ready yet, Al.
Yeah, it's probably
we're not ready yet. It takes a minute. It takes a minute to materialize here on the program. That is really funny. And what was the scene? Do you remember the scene?
So it was a couple different ones. They have like acting exercises, kind of just to get you going. Oh, you mean like what was the General Hospital scene, or what was the competition?
The competition.
The competition, we had to read these lines with this girl or something, and another one we did was about getting into it with a player like in the locker room after losing the championship. So they try to keep it close to home and make it easier for us. But the scene that they set up was one of the main actors, I guess, was at a bar and just hanging out and just chilling. And I would have been a bartender sitting there polishing the cups and cleaning up the cups. Could have been fun.
Now, Maz,
could have been my career stuff.
Is there anything this guy can't do over here to my right?
Not really, man. It sounds like he's a
screen left
cover model. He could do it all, man. He's got Stan as his dad. He came up the right way. Stan could still do everything as well. My man.
All right, we've got that clip. Here it is. Braylon, Steven Jackson, and Sonoris Moss. The winner gets a spot on General Hospital. Take a look.
October on Helmets Off, Tackling Acting. 3 NFL players, 1 acting coach, fight for the opportunity of a lifetime.
I'm just hoping that they're going to be game, that they would treat me like they would treat their coach on the field.
I like stuff like this, man. Get us out there, get our faces, our personalities out there. So stuff like this is cool. Rugger, baby.
Peter Piper pick a pecker. Pepper.
Okay.
How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?
Wow!
If you stop wearing your money around your neck, I won't ask you to borrow money. I just want to borrow money.
Because I wear this, I earn this. You did not earn this. I can wear what I earn, and I will.
Just talk to him.
I just want to borrow money. I want to start my life. I want to borrow money.
This is what I do.
No, you're not
I am
serious.
the player. I make plays.
You're not serious.
We went to the States last year.
Not serious.
Whose state championship
You're
is
not
that?
serious.
Be serious,
You're not
coach.
serious.
Is
You're
it
not
yours?
serious.
Is it yours?
Serious.
Or is
You're
it
not
mine?
serious.
Or is it mine?
That's
Take me off the
it's
team and see what happens. Take me off the team and see what happens.
Whoa,
I'm out of here then. I'm out of here then.
Whoa, good. Okay, wow. You got into it. Good, guys. Very nice.
Competition is stiff around here.
I got 33% chance going into it.
I think my chances are pretty good. I went in there and went through the exercises pretty well, and I think hopefully I get picked.
So I guess I have to think which one of them is going to be eliminated. Which one will be right for General Hospital?
It's time to see who has what it takes to make it in Hollywood. Braylon, Steven, or Sonoris.
It's going to be fun. We're going to see how it goes down.
October on Helmets Off, Tackling Acting.
So that was the key word right there. That was the key word at the end. Which one would be right for General Hospital?
Man, I'm telling you, a 6'4" brother behind the bar, I would have stole the show. I still would be on General Hospital.
And that actually is you. You are that passionate, whether it's talking to...
Was that me you were talking to?
I mean...
Is that how you got in character? You pretended that was me?
Maz,
I really feel like I was talking to you.
At least now you know it's not personal.
Thank you. I'm passionate. I try to sell you on it. I really try to sell the dude what I say.
Was mom there pumping you up?
No, mom didn't go out there. I was with my boy Hayes. Actually, shout out to my boy Hayes. It's his birthday today. Happy birthday, Hayes. Hayes Groves the fourth. Brother Rice is on. Went to the University of Michigan, played basketball as well. Happy birthday, Hayes. But no, we went out there. It was a great time, and it was fun. And come to find out that Sonoris actually had a background in acting. He did some acting in high school. He did some acting.
Cheater.
I know, right?
Well, guess what? You played better football than him.
All right, man, you know what I'm saying? He got a Super Bowl ring, though.
I know.
Man, I'm telling you, that was a great job. Wow, that would have been really cool.
How about you got any acting in you besides the news?
You know what? Honestly, I did. It's very hard.
Yeah.
I did when they had the tax breaks here and all the movies were being filmed here.
Yeah.
I did a short movie where I was a basketball announcer. I had a little part. It was all day on a Saturday for like, I don't even remember the name of the movie. Chuck Grady was the director. It was a basketball movie, and it was a short film. Went to Lake Orion High School on a Saturday morning, and I was there from like 9 to 3. I
wasn't in class that
one
long.
little part. Jeez. And I don't remember what I said, but I was like a basketball play-by-play announcer.
Chick Hearn.
Yeah.
Why the hell?
And it was really hard.
Why the hell did we let the Hollywood out of here?
So dumb.
So stupid.
Because
Say that again. What happened?
Why did we let Hollywood leave Detroit?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because it took the tax breaks away. Now, I am hearing that is kind of up for discussion once again. Because there is something about, and I understand, why not give tax breaks to this industry or tax breaks to that industry or this. But I do feel there's a certain aura around that. And we're a union town, and you get all of those jobs, those freelance jobs for crew members, for stagehands. And I think it does add to a morale of a city. When you have all of that activity going on, all of that stuff going. I mean, how many times Gerard Butler's at Michigan
Remember
State?
Gran Torino?
Yeah, Gran Torino's
that scene on Lakeshore Drive. That's beautiful.
You know, you had
Transformers when they shot here. You were running into those guys. Mark Wahlberg.
Batman versus Superman.
Why do you think Wahlburgers is here right now?
Because of
Mark Wahlberg shot a movie here, fell in love with the place, and that's why it's here.
And not to mention, it's a perfect time. You talk about Hard Knocks this year. You talk about the draft in 2024. It's the time to open up the tax brackets again, because I think the Transformers set, I was playing in the preseason game. I was with the Jets, and we came back, and I was like, is that Optimus Prime over there? So it looked cool.
Guys, I want to jump into some Detroit Tigers talk a little bit next as well. Plus, there's some NFL news. I do want to touch on that regarding Rob Gronkowski. I want to get your take specifically on it, Braylon.
He's going to the Lions?
He is not going to the Lions.
again.
So we've got a lot to get to over the next 30 minutes. I want to do as much as I can. We'll do it next. Armani and Edwards.
World Sports Network, the bottom line.
All right.
It took exploring 50 different formulas and hosting countless taste tests, but we believe Gypsy Vodka is the smoothest vodka on the market. Don't believe us? Ask the owners.
We're Mike and Adam Kazanowski with High Five Spirits Distillery. We're in close to about 1,200 locations throughout Michigan. We wanted to create a brand that was geared more towards freedom, love, adventure, and at the end of the day, we really wanted to tell a story that inspired other people to take risks, follow their dreams, whatever that might be.
Get a shot up. This is for the win. All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage.
Hey, gang! Boom! What? Where's
really
my
held
t-shirt?
that one.
I want to tell you about Lady Jane's haircuts for men. Boy, I'll tell you, don't I look good today, my girl Becca, right behind Maz. There you go, my girl Becca took care of me today. A precision haircut that's going to make me feel good. It has made me feel good all day. I'm having a good day today, and it's because I got taken care of by one of the talented stylists here at Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. All you got to do, walk in, sign in, sit down. Before you know it, you're handsome and clean. Ooh-wee! Open 7 days a week, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Over 100 locations nationwide, many of them locally here in the Metro Detroit area. Precision haircuts, Lady Jane's, walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Benjamin Foe on YouTube says Ryan was a stunt double on 8 Mile.
You only get one shot, right?
Yeah, you crack another one, Benjamin. I'm coming for you.
You only get one shot. Do
You know
not
what's-
miss your chance. Okay, guys, quick NFL news and notes. Rob Gronkowski, quote, not ready to commit to another season of NFL football, not ready to commit to getting back on the field. And I just think, like, when do those juices get flowing again? Obviously, you know, Brady, it didn't take long for the juices to get flowing again. When do they kind of, you know, resonate in your mind and in your body that you want to play again?
Different people, different juices. See, he's not, the juices haven't got flowing in terms of playing. Because that joker's going to play this year. He just don't want to do training camp. Rob's not a guy that really want to do training camp anyway. You saw what happened when they had the COVID workouts. He just took a bunch of pictures one day in different outfits to act like he was working out. Like, that's the type of guy Rob Gronkowski is. Check this out. He's got, 3-4 Super Bowl wins. He's going first ballot Hall of Famer. He came out of retirement once for his boy Tom Brady. He doesn't like OTAs. He doesn't like minicamp. That stuff is redundant. That stuff is old for him, especially after being retired and then coming back again. Rob is like, look, I don't want to be committed. He's very loose. He's an Arizona guy. That's how they are. But soon as August comes around, his ass is going to be in Tampa, ready for another opportunity to run it back.
And he's doing just about everything to keep himself entertained. Rob Gronkowski hosting an NFL draft party in Vegas where the women's tickets are $30 cheaper than the men's tickets. It's great. Females, $50.
Come on in.
Males, $80.
I'm sure the females are free.
You got to keep that ratio right.
You want to buy a ticket. I mean, Gronk is a treasure. He's played 11 years in the NFL, all 11 with Tom Brady. Yeah. I do see him playing again and just trying to do one more run with Brady in the box.
Yeah, I think so, because I think Brady wants to do one more year. I don't think Brady's not trying to do 2, 3, 4. He's not trying to do that. I think he will have a conversation with Gronk. Look, Gronk, I'm coming back. Or excuse me, I guess he already had the conversation. Gronk, I'm coming back. You don't need to be there for OTA. You don't have to make a decision. But in August, let's be ready. Be in some type of shape in August, and then let's get right for the season.
We hit on this at the top of the show, but opening day is going to be a big one here in Detroit, and Austin Meadows will head north with the team. This was really a shocker, and Maz, you had talked about what a haul this was earlier in the program, because Austin Meadows, a guy who you have under control through 2024, I believe, 27 years old in May. He's a guy that's going to help you now, and Al Avila, I saw him say today that this is all because of Chris Ilitch giving the go-ahead to add to the payroll. And good for Chris Ilitch, because if you had an opportunity to make a deal like this and you chose not to, well, then just go ahead and sell the team.
Austin Meadows is a good pro. He's getting better every year. He had a better year 2 years ago than he did last year, but he hit for more power last year. Over 100 RBI, man. I know his average went down a little bit, but this is a team that needed this kind of guy. Right-hand batters, right-hand pitchers in the American League, left-hand batter at Comerica Park. Once that shift is going to be abolished eventually, this guy will even flourish more. This guy's going to be around for a while. The guy you give up, Isaac Paredes, they've been waiting on him. He can't break into the lineup right now in the infield, so they give him up to Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay's not dumb. They get a draft pick as well. And I remember that deal with David Price. And you give up a guy like Willie Adames, who wasn't playing yet. He was still in the minors. But the kid turned out to be a really damn good player. So, you know what? You got to give a little to get some. They got some now. And now you wait on Riley Green to come back. But guess what? You've got your extra outfielder now. They are set. And not only that, he's happy. He's out of Tampa Bay. You don't have to play in the freaking inside anymore, inside the Rays dome there.
Where you can't sell out a playoff game.
People actually go to the Tigers games, unlike the Rays.
Correct. And he's happy to be here. He thinks, matter of fact, we got some video. He thinks they could be a player this year. He's excited.
Yeah,
it's a really good sign. All the pieces that have been put together. I know a couple guys being acquired in the offseason, and yeah, I mean, I think it's trending upward for sure. Last year, obviously playing them was not fun, facing the young guys, and they were not fun to face for sure. But like I said, I think from the pitching side and the position player standpoint, I think it's we're definitely up there with some of the best teams. And like I said, I'm just excited to get going and see what this team's all about.
One team that's happy to get him out of the AL East is the Yankees, because he killed the New York Yankees, and they're going to be playing the Yankees in just a couple of weeks.
Yeah, if I was Austin Meadows, I'd be happy as hell too. For all the people make about the Detroit Tigers and the organization not winning, but they're still the brand. Like, they are synonymous. World Series 84, World Series. You think of all the legends, all the Hall of Famers that they have. It's a great brand. One of the best fan-based cities is Detroit.
Great hat, too.
Comerica, shout out, a little self-plug. But Comerica Park, just an amazing place to be. It's great. The fans are there. So you get that, and you got A.J. Hinch. You know A.J. Hinch's pedigree with the World Series, with the Houston Astros. He's excited. He has every right to be, and it's a young team as well with Torkelson and Green. I'd be happy, too.
On the ups, man. This team is on the ups. If those young kids pitch half as good as it's supposed to be, they get another arm before the deadline,
Yeah.
they're going to be dangerous. They'll be in the hunt.
And if you think of these young arms, what is it? Casey Mize, 24. Matt Manning, 24.
He just got a new deal.
Tarek Skubal, 25.
Yep.
Tyler Alexander, 27.
He's having a great spring, Skubal.
God, I mean, it's just Eduardo Rodriguez. I think he's 28.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, these guys. Pineda, 33, is the
You got
eldest
Tucker
statesman.
Barnhart as your catcher, a Gold Glover from the Reds.
Pineda, 33, is the only guy in that rotation.
30.
That's in his 30s.
He's got playoff experience, man, with the Yankees. Matter of fact, he had tar. Remember that pine tar? He was on the back of his jersey, I remember. He has never been the same since then. He had shoulder problems, but he's ready. That was a good signing on the cheap, too.
Yeah, man, you know, and I don't want to make too much of this. I know a lot of times you say things, and Detroit fans, oh, here you go, it's too soon. Here they go starting this. Has there ever been a more optimistic time in Detroit sports than in the last 20 years? I mean, you look at the Pistons. Understand, Pistons don't have a winning record right now, but you got Cade Cunningham. You have the guy in the future. Not to mention, you got the third pick. This is where you should have the third pick. There's Ben Carroll. There's Chet Holmgren, excuse me. With the hockey, what Stevie Y has been able to do coming back to the Red Wings, you see that thing look different already early on this year. They look like a playoff team early on this season. Now, obviously, Waters balanced and leveled out. But then the Tigers and how they finished that season last year. You see the moves that they're making right now, picking up Austin Meadows, Javi Baez, Tucker Barnhart. Like, it's a lot of optimism. And in Detroit, we talk about Brad Holmes. You talk about the number 2 pick. A lot of optimism here in Detroit. Great time to be a Detroit fan.
Can't wait.
It's not a good time to be a Los Angeles Lakers fan. I don't know if you guys are hearing Magic Johnson torch LeBron James and the Lakers organization. I mean, Magic Johnson is out here torching these guys. You'll hear some of that next. Armani and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network, bottom line.
Good for you, LeBron.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
Detroit sports by Detroiters and for Detroiters. This is Detroit Sports Network. This is Woodward Sports.
Citron World is aspirational lifestyle beverage brand with a line of sparkling flavor energy beverages, premium bottled water, and revitalizer shots. Citron is fashionable. Citron is functional. And Citron is fun. Check out their stylish brand design with the unique crown and their cool bottle designs. If you're looking for premium ingredients, long-lasting energy, balanced hydration, essential vitamins and nutrients, and guess what? Citron has to be your choice. Official drink of the Red Wings and proud partners with the Detroit Pistons, exclusively sold at LCA and here at Birmingham Rose. Drink it, live it with Citron.
And you can bring your Citron right over to Chili Peppers Tanning. Get your tan on and get your vitamin D because Chili Peppers Tanning is your vitamin D headquarters. The cleanest salons in the D, spotless sanitized room, and trained and certified tanning professionals. Join the Pepper Club. They'll save you $5 over anybody's deals. All competitors, forget about it. ChiliPeppersTanning.com. The hottest deals, the darkest tans. Your vitamin D headquarters, 26 locations, and more on the way. One right down the street here on Woodward. Matter of fact, the Chili Peppers girls were here earlier today. Professionals, Chili Peppers Tanning. Get there.
Because DeRozan wanted to play for the Lakers, and when I got the call from his agent, I called the Lakers, said, hey, he wants to come home. And DeRozan could have been a Laker instead of a Bull. We could have made that deal. But when Russell and LeBron and them started talking, that's when they nixed that deal and went with Westbrook, and he became a Laker instead of DeRozan. And I think with DeRozan, and then you had a chance to keep the role players, Caruso, KCP, all those guys who are our best defenders, see, they left. And that's why we were a bad defensive team. But if you signed DeRozan, you only trade Kuzma for Buddy Hield, we would be playing in the Western Conference Championship this year with those two guys.
Go ahead, Bray. I mean, he did not hold back.
this has been building up for a long time. Well, not a long time, but this has been building up since Magic took over and was president. He did that when LeBron was first there. How long did that last?
Not long.
How long did that last? Because he saw what LeBron was trying to do. He saw what Rob Pelinka and the Lakers franchise and Jeannie Buss were allowing him to do. You hear what Magic says in that comment. I mean, in that whole interview. He says, we. You know why he says we? It's because he's a Laker. All he's ever known is the Los Angeles Laker. Magic Johnson cares about the Los Angeles Laker. It's about the team. It's about the franchise. It's about each year. It's about the future. Well, LeBron, everything in LeBron is this year. Everything is this year. LeBron doesn't feel that way about Cleveland. LeBron doesn't feel that way about Miami, although he has success. So Magic hasn't liked that. He understands that LeBron has handicapped this. All the things they're doing, LeBron has been instrumental in some of those handicaps. Caruso said he wanted to take less to stay with the Lakers. Got rid of him. What is he doing? Oh, he's on the Bulls. And if Lonzo Ball doesn't get hurt this year, the Bulls could be the #1 seed in the East. DeMar DeRozan, he says he wanted to play their
MVP
Can you
candidate.
imagine DeMar DeRozan and LeBron? Oh, what's DeMar DeRozan doing this year? Oh, he's only up for MVP as well. They got rid of all their bench. There's nobody on the bench. LeBron is complaining about playing 40 minutes. And listen, big fella, I feel bad that you had to play 40 minutes a game at 37 years old. Nah, because it hurts the knees. I get that, and I feel bad for you. It's your fault. It's your fault that you got to play all those minutes, man. So Magic has every right to feel this way because he saw from jump. That's why Magic slid smooth out the door in the middle of the night. He said, all right, cool. Y'all can have that job back. So he's still harvesting those feelings.
That's why I'll never, ever be a LeBron fan. I never was. I never will be. I don't like him. I don't think of him as one of the greatest players because I have such dislike for him. He's just a selfish, me guy, and now he gets what he deserves. The only thing that hurts me is that they won that year in the COVID year. If they didn't win that year, I'd really be so happy that he really got it up in the giggy.
Guess what? Only people that know they won in that COVID year are analysts like me, you, and Ryan. Nobody else remembers that.
I will say, and I think you brought this up in our group chat yesterday, LeBron, there is something about players owning a franchise, right? I mean, where players sign off on every decision that's made. Why even have general managers when you let guys like LeBron James build your team? Because LeBron, you know, I mean, yeah, he wants to play with his friends. He's later in life, wants to play with Carmelo, wants to play with, you know, I mean.
True.
But it's not the right basketball decision.
Yeah.
I don't know how, and we see, who was the football player that kind of, Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers kind of hijacked that experience as well.
For 2 years.
Holds the Green Bay Packers over the coals.
Yeah.
And
at least he was there from the get-go.
Nonetheless, they're not winning. That was his team. Nonetheless, they're not winning.
They won a Super Bowl.
Well, many moons ago. So did Matt Stafford won a Super Bowl. So did Brad Johnson.
Boom.
There goes the Oscar Mayer Wiener mobile this passed by. Yeah,
down Woodward. But
I digress.
You know, I do think it's one thing to have those players play for your franchise. It's another thing to let them run your franchise.
Look, the one thing about being in that, and I've never been in that conversation. I've never had those rooms. I never talked to Mike Tannenbaum. I never talked to Brian Schneider when I played for the Seahawks and say, hey, we need to bring this guy in, or hey, I never had that ability, that clout. But I think it's tough when you're friends with these individuals, or you're trying to, get the guy that lives in town, or the guy that would be cool. LeBron went after Russell because it was a story. It was cool. Russell's movie was coming out. Russell's the L.A. kid. Russell always wanted to play for the Lakers. It's like, oh, man, we got another three-headed monster. Now we have A.D., we have Russell, and we have LeBron. Now what you have is a cap space problem, like the cap luxury tax problem. LeBron set that thing up. He moved it in motion, and that's what he does every time he goes somewhere. Aaron Rodgers is doing that. GMs, owners, actually, let me just go with owners. Owners are about to stop listening to players. Owners are about to make it so the players can't say anything, because in terms of being a GM, there's one thing to vouch for a player. There's another thing, I don't like that guy. I don't like his off-the-field work habits or something. Like, that's very different. But when you start coming to the office with a notebook and say, hey, these are the players I need you to have and get rid of. All right, I see you at practice. Man, he's never going to see it work. It didn't work for Aaron, and it's not working for LeBron.
And he's going to do it again to his next team because he wants to play with his son, who might not be as good a player. Might not be an NBA caliber player, but he wants his son drafted, and he's already said it. If you draft my son, I'm going to come play on your team. I could see my stupid New York Knicks bringing him on. I could see it.
That's a good
I'm already
point.
telling you. He'll be a New York Knick. They are the worst freaking franchise next to the freaking Lions and the Clippers. They are the freaking worst. I was 11 years old when they won a championship. Look at me now. They'll have LeBron and his stinking son on the Knicks in 3 years. Watch. And Spike Lee is he's gonna die on the court.
By the way, speaking of the Knicks, so Magic Johnson called out Stephen A. Smith as well as the reason that Lonzo Ball is not a member of the Knicks. And if Lonzo Ball had signed with the Knicks, they would be in the playoffs right now in a very high seed in the Eastern Conference. And he said he blames Stephen A. because the pressure that Stephen A. put on the Knicks not to sign Lonzo Ball was so great that they didn't sign him. And because of that, you would have had Lonzo Ball and Julius Randle together. They played together
RJ
with the
Barrett,
Lakers.
yeah.
Tom Thibodeau could really hone their skills. It could just a match made in heaven there. So he put Stephen A. Smith on notice as a reason why the Knicks are not good anymore.
Magic is taking no prisoners.
And rightfully so, right?
Good for him. Magic's dealt with a lot. Magic's been through a lot. And what do we talk about? Talk about when guys or females, when you get to a certain age, when you've done a lot, you no longer give a you-know-what.
You say that about me, don't you?
No, 100%. 100%. 100%. Especially when you're dropping dimes and you're spitting truth. Perception is reality. When Stephen A. Smith goes on there and goes on those rants, people listen. People pay attention, and it definitely persuaded the Knicks to say, we're good on that.
Unbelievable. Tiger Woods, we are good on that as well. Just want to reinstate for you that he is going to play in the Masters round 1 on Thursday. And incredibly, and look, I don't think Tiger Woods is some charity case. I don't think Tiger Woods was going to play in the Masters if he didn't believe in his own mind that he could win. And when asked whether or not he believes he could win, he said, I do. How awesome is that for Tiger Woods?
I tweeted it out, man. I tweeted that exact same thing. I was watching it live, and I got excited. And it went back to being 13 years old, watching him on that final day with the long sleeve red shirt on that day with the big black slacks, get the win. The one thing we talked about in the first hour of the show is Tiger is very transparent. Tiger is always very honest. If he doesn't feel like he's going to have a
Except with his women.
I think he's gotten better at that too.
That's good.
I think he's got better at it too. But he's very transparent. He's very good. He says he's been playing pretty good. Says he feels good. Says he could win. And he didn't blow any smoke. He said, yes, I feel like I can win. Fred Couples, as well as JT, Justin Thomas, golfed with him yesterday. Fred Couples says the best he's seen Tiger look in a very long time. And I'm not talking about when he won in 19. He says this is the best Tiger he's seen since 2011. Tiger is the best short game player in the world. You don't have to hit the ball that far when you got a game like Tiger's, man, from 220 in. So he legitimately has a chance. He's lost weight, not as big as he was in 2019, a little smaller, swinging still smooth. He says his stroke, his swing, all that feels normal. All that feels good. That's not a problem. The only problem will be over the course of 4 days, 72 holes, walking 4 days worth.
And that back and that leg.
Yeah,
man.
that's walking.
But he is a physical specimen.
Just
he's an Adonis.
Let's put this in. Let's give him some just due and put this in perspective. He's got a will like no other.
Nobody.
To think that 14 months ago he crashed into a tree at 75 miles per hour and could have died, but then could have had his leg amputated, was laying in a bed in his house for 3 months. 3 months. We all had like, yo, you know what? It's over for Tiger. I remember kind of getting emotional. I'm like, dang, Tiger's done. I wanted him to win. I wanted him to get the more 3 majors. He got one. He teased us. Now this happens. Now I'm thinking it's over. Here we are 14 months later, and this joker is plus 4,000 odds to win the Masters.
The greatest comeback story in the history of sports.
Next to Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
And Ben Hogan.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, yeah.
Guys, Masters videos of the day. We'll do it next. By the way, the lead, LeBron James, will sit tonight again. Are you
load management? He's a load.
Hey, man, my knees hurt.
There you
my back. My knees and my back.
We'll be right back.
Woodward Sports Network, the bottom line.
Punk.
At Wing Snob, staying humble's not our forte. We just have better wings. we're back at it again with our crispy golden brown fries and our famous boneless wings. Juicy, tender, hormone-free chicken. Your favorite signature sauces with no bone. Just when you thought Wing Snob couldn't get any better. Order online at wingsnob.com today. Wing Snob. We just have better wings.
Putting on a show here, and that's how you answer. We love our sports. We just wish they'd love us back. Detroit sports for Detroit sports fans. Woodward Sports.
Hey, gang, it's Maz for Big Boy. I love Big Boy. The Seafood Festival's back as well at Big Boy, including the Friday night seafood buffet. Goes right until April the 24th, right through Palm Sunday. Catch it while you can. Fish and chips, fish fry, popcorn shrimp, and pike perch. It's the new fish sandwich available at participating locations. It's Big Boy. Get there.
Well, it is that time of the day we like to play Maz's videos of the day.
Oh, mama.
And now it's time for Maz's videos of the day, only on the Woodward Sports Network.
I take you back 29 years ago tonight. It was my first April 5th in Detroit. I'm watching the national championship by myself in my house in Detroit. Got a house. My wife rented me a house. She was my fiance at the time.
Okay.
Could not
I
wait.
see you.
Could not wait to watch this game. Michigan and North Carolina, the Fab Five, are going to take down the Tar Heels. I take it to the last minute of that game.
Long, a 2 to tie. Michigan will have to bring it.
Oh, he walked and the referee missed it.
Weber brings it into the front court. They have no timeouts remaining.
Oh, he causes too many timeouts. That's a technical foul.
He called a timeout. Michigan doesn't have any.
He got by with a walk, and Jimmy calls a he calls a timeout. He doesn't realize that's Michigan's too many, and so it'll be a technical foul. North Carolina shooting and the ball. A huge mental mistake. Steve Fisher calls his team back.
But he makes 2. This game will be over.
And
4-point difference. North Carolina with 11 seconds to go. Palinka in. Even if Michigan, should Carolina miss. There you have it. North Carolina is the 1993 national champion.
Young Jim Nance and Billy Packer on the call at CBS.
Young Dean Smith.
My heart was broke that night.
It's so crazy.
I wish he would have called the travel.
I know, right? It's so crazy that the Fab Five never won.
Yep.
And I won't say won anything because, I mean, they've been to the championship. They've been to the Final Four. It's so crazy. They never won. However, they are the most recognized college basketball team of all time.
Yeah, especially if you're north of 30, right?
Yeah, even the young kids know about them now.
Put those banners back up, by the way, at Chrysler.
Without question.
Let's go. Here's one of our favorites, Brad. This is Braylon and my favorite guy. His name is Brad Johnson, Super Bowl champion with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But this is better. He's improved his life. Check out Brad Johnson. Another trick shot coming at you.
Big Bad Brad.
Big Bad Brad here, backed by popular man, home of the 12th man, Kyle Field. Let's go. Doink! Let's go.
How cool is this
What did
guy?
he hit?
Crossbar.
Oh, really?
That was, so one of the, people ask you, that, what do you miss most? Like when you leave a sport, whatever it is, or whatever you leave anything, you leave a career. And I talk about the locker room. That's when all players would tell you they miss the locker room. They miss the jokes. They miss the camaraderie. That was a game we played after every practice in the spring, in the summer, during the season. Crossbar, the receivers, or anybody want to get in on it. A lot of money. Exchange hands in those bets. Just a fun bet, man. Get there to that 20. Bing.
Give me
bing.
that 20.
No.
He is really he's a great follow on Twitter and Instagram. Brad Johnson, former NFL quarterback. Here's one for you from the CFL. This one's for Fish. The guy's name is Shy Ross. Plays for the Edmonton Elks, formerly the Eskimos. Check this guy
I just saw
out.
their head coach
How
on,
about this workout?
No way. What is this?
He's going to flip over with the bar.
No way,
Yeah.
he's not.
Yeah, he is. Here he goes.
No! No.
Yes. Holding weights. How much weight was that, Braylon, you think?
25 and 25, so 95. The fact that the fact that the black one, the 25 is off the Smith machine presses. But the fact that that joker can do that and his rip looks like Tarzan and is playing in Canada,
it
lets you know it's hard to make the NFL. That's one thing about social media. Social media creates the space for you to think to do some dumb stuff like this. Why in the hell would you? You wouldn't see anybody in the NFL doing that.
Man, isn't that something?
Wow.
What an athlete.
It's an amazing feat. But in so many ways that could have went wrong. The reward wasn't worth the risk.
USFL, by the way, starting in a couple of weeks.
Can't wait.
I wish it was here in the area.
I know, me too.
Instead of Birmingham, Michigan. I'd go in
Birmingham, Alabama, you're talking about.
Yeah, Birmingham, Alabama.
Yeah.
We're in Birmingham, Michigan. Anyway, I got one more for you. This is from the Granny Basketball League. Check out these young ladies.
Ooh. Sister Jeans in like 1920.
Okay. And there you have it, the Granny Basketball League.
Man, I think we lost all our followers with that one.
What can I tell you, man?
Where do you find this stuff?
I'm digging because I don't want to get pulled down off of YouTube. So I just keep digging and finding whatever I can.
Oh, man.
You don't think I want to show every damn cut I can?
Maz loves video.
I do.
And he loves it. It's fun. I love that he loves it. That's why I always look forward to it when we get the Maz's videos of the day.
Thanks, guys. I know you guys tune out, but that's all right.
No, I like your videos of the day.
I know, Ryan. I just want to set the scene for everyone. Ryan kind of goes to sleep during my videos of the day. He does not give a damn about my videos.
It's my favorite part of the show.
He doesn't. He's
Yes. Well, this was fun, guys. Opening day almost upon us. We want to invite everybody down there, too. We'll be downtown. We'll be at the Brass Rail. We'll be all over the place. Maz, where are we going to be early?
We're going to be at the Brass Rail.
We're going to be at a couple different locations,
Then we're going to be back at the Brass Rail again at 2 o'clock. You know what I forgot to do? We forgot to call our winner. Christian won our $1,000 final score. He picked 74. He had Kansas to win it all. I forgot to give him a call. He won our Woodward Sports Bracket Challenge. We'll call him tomorrow.
Call him up.
Second place, Josh.
Call him up.
You want to call him?
Call him up. Give Sam the number.
Go ahead, Sam. Give him a call.
Sam, you got the number?
So Christian won $1,000. He had Kansas to win it all. And then we had Josh won second place.
He won a pair of Yeezys?
Yeah, we'll do it tomorrow. It's okay.
Let's do it.
We'll do it tomorrow. He won a pair of Yeezys. He had Kansas winning it all. Third place was Frederick. Papa Romano's Pizza Party. That to me, that's the number one. That's the number one. I'm getting Papa Romano's today. Me and Maddie, we're getting Papa Romano's.
I got cheated in my bracket, man. I need to look at the specs on the website because I feel like some funny business happened.
You think?
Man. I was in first place at one point, man. Now
at one point.
But who'd you have to win?
So great.
Arizona.
Okay, if you would have stuck with your Kansas pick, you would have won.
Hey, look, man. Doing this show, man, I outthink myself.
Yeah, you talked yourself out of
it.
it.
Like the NFL draft. Don't overthink it. Malik Willis should be the
Yes.
pick. Guys, I love you. Braylon, get us out of here if you would.
Great show today, Sam, Alex, Maz, as always, Ryan. Great show. Check this out. Back to the Notre Dame fan base. I leave you with this. Kyle Hamilton should not be the number 2 pick for the Detroit Lions. We don't need to draft him. I don't think that he's a game-changing player for that franchise. Now you want to go on there and say, oh, maybe he's mad because he was 1-3 against Michigan. I mean, against Notre Dame in college. I can care less. Put the picture up, Alex.
Pause.
I may be
Say less.
I may be 1-3 against Notre Dame, but every time I played against those boys, I put on the show. And
Say
last
less.
time I checked, my junior year, I think we beat Notre Dame 38-0, which would make that their worst loss in the history of their program. Listen, I don't mind John Helmets. Golden Tate's a friend of mine. Brady Quinn is a friend of mine. But what I do know is Kyle Hamilton is not going to be the number 2 pick. And you guys, stop being so damn sensitive. And that's the bottom line.
Soft.
Or is it mine? Or is it mine? Take me off the team and see what happens. Take me off the team and see what happens.
Whoa,
I'm out of here. I'm out of here.
Whoa, good. Okay, wow. You got into it. Good, guys. Very nice.
Competition is stiff around here.
I got 33% chance, going into it.
I think my chances are pretty good. I went in there and went through the exercises pretty well, and I think hopefully I get picked.
So I guess I have to think which one of them is going to be eliminated, which one will be right for General Hospital.
It's time to see who has what it takes to make it in Hollywood. Braylon, Steven, or Sonoris.
It's going to be fun. We're going to see how it goes down.
October on Helmets Off, Tackling Acting.